In the United States from 1973 through May 2016, there are almost 1,500 people were executed, primarily by means of lethal injection. Most death penalty cases involve the execution of murders, although capital punishment can also be applied to treason and other crimes. Death penalty just adds what it means. It means the execution of an offender sentenced to death after conviction by a court of law of a criminal offense. Today, there are 36 states and government institutions have reinstituted the death penalty. In general, the methods of death penalty is hand, electric chair, executed by shooting, and lethal injection. Today, 75% of all executions in America are using lethal injection. And although lethal injection is being used in almost every state here, in the color of red, which is states that have death penalty. Proponents of the death penalty say that death penalty is an important tool for preserving law and order, deters criminal, and costs less than life imprisonment. They argue that retribution, or an eye for an eye, honors the victim, helps console grieving families, and ensures that criminals of some extremely bad crimes never have an opportunity to create and cause some future tragedy. But opponents of the capital punishment say it has no deterrent effect on crime, wrongly giving the government the power to take human life and lead to social injustice by wrongly targeting people of color and people who cannot afford good lawyers. They say that lifetime jail sentences are more severe, more and less expensive punishment than death. So it comes our core argument: should the death penalty be exist anymore in this modern society? And I think this question should be analyzed in two aspects. First of all, in the moral aspect. People who support death penalty, just as Donald Trump said in May 2016, the death penalty, it should be brought back, and it should be brought back strong. They say it's not a deterrent. Well, you know what? Maybe it's not a deterrent, but these two men, convicted of killing two police officers in Hattiesburg, Minnesota, will not do any more killing. That's for sure. People who support death penalty always use this sentence from Donald Trump, and they think death penalty is not immoral because it represents justice in a way of an eye for an eye sentences. And only by this way that the victim's family can be comforted. But opponents, they are also using a sentence from a poem by John Donne. He said, "Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never sent to know for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee." The poem means that we as human beings, every death affects us. They say that an eye for an eye is a phrase that is often heard when debating the death penalty, but they think this phrase is illogical. What it basically says is revenge is okay, but revenge is never okay. Not only in the Bible, but also in many other religions all over the world, they all claim that revenge is wrong. It cannot heal the victim's family's wound if we start getting back on everyone who has done some harm to us. Then we just become animals and hurting each other all the time. Also, it is true that by death penalty, it will send the victim's family a sense of peace and justice, but the family members from the criminal side are also innocent and don't deserve to cry. The second part is about criminal justice. According to Stewart, irrefutable DNA evidence has exonerated some 15 death row inmates and almost 200 of men convicted of murder or rape, mostly since 1990s. Therefore, people who support death penalty say that we are in a better situation than ever before to ensure that only the guilty are executed. All American supporters, opponents, or whatever of the death penalty should recognize that DNA testing is providing us a powerful safeguard in the capital cases. And we all should be thankful for this amazing technological development. Meanwhile, opponents of death penalty says that the DNA testing and debate testing and evidence only occurs in a situation when the criminal leaves biological evidence behind. But in the real life, most cases in the criminal justice system, no DNA testing can occur. It mostly only happens in the cases of rape. Also, even among those cases that DNA testing is involved, if it's not gathered, collected, and preserved properly, you will end up with false tests. Besides, DNA testing is costly. Besides, it's costly, time-consuming, and provides an additional burden on the already overextended criminal justice system. And according to Richard Deiter, only 12% cases now are using the DNA testing, and for the rest, 88%, lawyers and court still need to rely on other kind of evidence. So, as a conclusion, I think execution, the death penalty, is wrong because it is inhuman. It is not only punishing the criminal, but also punishing the criminal's family, who don't deserve that. Look at this picture. These are all the method of death penalty. I think when people talk about death penalty, they should always remember this picture and think about it when they talk about that. Because the core of death penalty is murder. It's killing people. And finally, I want to end this speech with a sentence from Songlin Yi. She said, "We kill people who kill people to prove that killing people is wrong, and this is not correct." Thank you.